Alrighty guys, so the new Galaxy Eyes Exceeds are out in the game, but no one's really playing them. But are they good? Let's find out on this exciting episode of Dragon Ball Z. So overall the deck's not that bad, and you guys will see like how it performs in action. So shout out to Bruce Wayne for showing us the awesomeness of the Galaxy Ciphers. They have a little bit of potential, as you guys will see. They have a lot of great Exceed monsters, especially the ones that are like your opponent can't use a spell card, then you get to attach it as material. I'll try to go over some of the smaller effects over here, just like the bread and butter and like the basics of the deck. But he's going to go ahead and negate Galaxy Eyes Cipher. Well, he's going to attempt to by going ahead and bouncing it back. But unfortunately, Breakthrough Skill is there to save the day. Now, he was able to steal that monster, and then he's going to destroy his own Blue Eyes, well, which was his opponent's, but he was able to take it with Galaxy Eyes Cipher Blade Dragon. Now, there is a downside with this, is that you get to target, well, actually the one that was under it, which was the Galaxy Eyes Cipher Dragon. So you get to take control of one monster your opponent controls, and it cannot attack your opponent directly, and then also take control of the targeted monster until the end of the phase. That's the only downside with that card. Now, if you're playing Galaxy Eyes, the other guy was playing a bunch of level 8s, obviously. Blue Eyes has a lot of level 8s in it. Now, what you should try to do is try to stack Exceeds on top of Exceeds, but you can see right here he was able to take the monster. And again, that monster can't attack directly, but it's not that big of a deal. Main phase 2 is going to go ahead and make a Felgren. So that was a much better play. Previously, he had went and just got rid of his own monster, so to speak. But he still was able to get rid of the opponent's Blue Eyes. He's going to go ahead and alternative. He's going to go ahead and protect the Felgren with its own effect. Now, he puts his card in defense mode because obviously this card's going to run it over. But maybe attacking over that might have been a better choice. But nonetheless, he couldn't have taken the 15 anyways. So you can see it might have an actual good matchup against Blue Eyes. I know a lot of you guys are looking forward to Blue Eyes because that deck is actually topping, and it did indeed win quite a lot of tournaments. But you can see it face off against a lot of different decks. Now, some decks, for example, like BA, if they don't play Fire Lake, because there are a lot of different builds of Burning Abyss, and sometimes they mill too many of them, or, you know, they don't have control over what they draw. Obviously, with Dante, you know, being spammed out on the board consistently, sometimes, again, Fire Lake is the card that they need to get rid of monsters with bigger attack, and they might not have options to do that. You can see that the Galaxy Eyes deck has a lot of bigger beaters, and some decks, they just don't really have an answer to that, and I remember Dino Rabbit kind of had that problem. That's why Chaos Dragons was such a popular deck. Not only was it budget, but it just had these big beaters, and like that deck didn't have a good matchup against big beaters because they'd be forced to make awkward things that Chaos Dragons could mitigate some of the advantage that deck could generate because they'd be forced into bad situations. Now he's going to go ahead and pop that card. He's going to go ahead and send another card to the grave. He's going to go ahead and activate the effect of the Farfa, and he's going to go ahead and get rid of that card for a bit, but it's going to come back. Now, when you are getting rid of the materials, obviously that does hurt some of the Galaxy Eyes cards, because then they won't have material for their effects. But a lot of the cards you can stack Exceeds on top of Exceeds. Now he makes double Dante Pilgrims over here, and he's going to save himself with the Electromagnetic Turtle. Otherwise, he would have been looking at a game state where he was going to be at significant disadvantage. Now you can see, again, it goes back to the Dino Rabbit thing where they make awkward cards simply because they need to deal with certain things. Now, for example, like F-Zero over here, it's used because it needs to be able to get over bigger targets. Now, he happens to have Fire Like over here, so he gets a huge advantage, but he's able to search out an extra card with this. So he's able to send one card from his hand or field to the graveyard, and if you do, you can just special summon that destroyed monster. And then during the end phase, if this card was in the graveyard because it was sent there this turn, you can add a Cipher card or Kinetic Soldier from your deck to your hand. So that's a really good effect, being able to, you know, search out pretty much whatever you want. Now it does have 0 attack, but it is level 4 light, so you could technically go for rank 4s in the deck, but you'll see the deck doesn't really want to do that because it wants to change the levels of things anyways. So he's going to tribute that card to add a Galaxy card, and then he's going to go for Galaxy 0, then he's going to go ahead and activate the rank up card over there, and he's able to go ahead and secure victory. Now let's go ahead and watch it against the Fluffles over here, so I'm going to swap it. This replay is by Prophet, so shout out to Prophet for sending in these replays. I really appreciate when you guys send in these replays. If you guys want to send me in awesome replays of other things, link down below in the description box is just send me the YRP file, because yeah, a lot of these other decks, they don't see any love, especially like the Galaxy Ciphers, because there's a lot of cool cards that I think a lot of people like from the anime, and they're fans of, you know, the person that's running in the anime. And, you know, it just doesn't see any support to where it's going to become meta. Now, I'm not saying that Ciphers can't be meta. It just all depends on how many people play them. I mean, if everyone's playing Ciphers, or if everything gets hit by the ban list, Then, you know, other decks can see some play. So we have Rank Up Cipher Ascension over here. I'll go over some of the card effects real quick, because a lot of these, well, that was a relatively fast duel over there, because, you know, he just took both the monster guys. Like, I quit. Sometimes people don't notice that the monster can attack directly, but in this case, yeah, pretty good stuff indeed. But anyway, so this is a quick play rank up, which is actually really helpful, because your opponent can attack and be psych. Go ahead and rank it up. So anyways, during either player's main phase, you get to target one Cipher or it's target one Cipher, exceed monster you control, and special summon from your extract one Cipher XYZ monster that is one rank higher than that target by using it as material. Special summon is treated as exceed summon monster, and you get the attachments on that. And then the monster special summon by this effect gains this effect. This card gains 500 attack for each level 4 or higher monster you control. So at that point, you can get a huge boost of attack. You can see the normal attack of it is 4,500. Pretty much you're going to be able to run over most things in the game at that point. And there's nothing that's really going to be able to contest with it. But let's go ahead and watch how Cosmos face off against this deck. Now, Cosmos took a pretty hard hit, unless you're playing in the OCG. I don't know. Do you guys think, let me know in the comment section below, do you guys think Cosmos can still be meta? I know a lot of people are trying out other builds, but I just feel like the Dark Destroyer really hurts, because like the optimal play was like obviously Tin Can, and the Dark Destroyer would be made relatively quick in the game. Now you can see the one Dark Destroyer over here. He's going to go ahead and try to disrupt the play over here. Which he's going to be able to do successfully. But like that's your one Dark Destroyer. I know people are playing like Escape from the Different Dimensions. Some people are playing Call of the Haunted or Oasis, other things just to try to reoccur some of these monsters. Just in case you send into the graveyard, because that can kind of be a problem sometimes with Tin Can. You don't always have control. But Galaxy Zero activating, he's going to special summon that card, and then he's going to go ahead and activate Expedition over there, special summon level 5 or higher Photon or Galaxy monster from your deck. So you're still able to make Cyber Dragon Infinity one of the better cards in the game. Now, unfortunately, he's not going to be able to target anything, but he's going to go ahead and rank up this, and he's going to Twin Twister after everything. He's going to activate Call of the Haunted to get back the Dark Eclipser. Now Dark Eclipser is now going to go away, and then he's going to go ahead and activate that effect. Going to go ahead and add a Cosmo card, but he's going to take the other Cosmo card. It can't attack directly, but does that matter? Not at all. So you can see the downsides of this card sometimes don't really matter, where you could take control of the monster and then it can't attack directly for the rest of the turn, and then you have to give it back. But it doesn't really matter. If you're able just to grab that one monster out of the way, you can definitely still win the game. It's kind of one of those decks where it can definitely push for game. And actually, these guys are both the mirror match right here, Galaxy AIs. But Galaxy Soldier is still a pretty pricey card. Other than that, though, I want to say this is a relatively budget-friendly deck. You can see he's going to go ahead and attack with a Lancelot over here. But Lancelot is a really good card, basically able to negate anything it wants to. It's got 2,000 attack. Not too bad of a card. Its attack is a little bit low, but if its attack was like really high, then it'd be maybe a little bit OP. But anyways, he's going to go ahead and activate the effect of the Twin Raptor, and he's going to go ahead and be able to once again seal in those monsters. But I feel like if you had some more rank ups, this deck could get even more nasty, because if you steal your opponent's Exceed monster in like a mirror match, you can like rank up on top of it, and that'd be pretty good. But you can see he's able to spam the board. He's going to go ahead and make Cipher. He's going to go ahead and rank it up into the Neo Galaxy Eyes. But Breakthrough skills activated to save the day. He was going to go ahead and detach up to 3 materials, and then for the rest of the turn, you can take control face-up monsters your opponent controls equal to the number of detached. So that can be just, a little bit good, just sealing all of your opponent's monsters, But I mean, it's pretty much only conditional to this archetype. There's not a card, I don't think, in Yu-Gi-Oh! Where it's like steal all of your opponent's monsters. But had that effect been activated, that would have been really hype. But you can see he's just gonna go ahead. He took the stuff, and now he's gonna go ahead and just be like, yo, I'm just gonna rank up on top of rank ups. And then at that point, look at his board. Like, how much damage is this? Like OTKs and tag duels almost. Pretty crazy stuff indeed. But he's going to go ahead and make the rank up. He's going to go ahead and go for Neo, detach, and then steal everything. That was some hype anime status. So you can see this deck, it can do a lot of crazy stuff. And then he takes all the XYZs on top of XYZs. That's the kind of stuff that I like seeing. And you can see he just has the Cipher Spectrum over here. He's going to go ahead and activate the Skill Prisoner. But I don't think it's going to really matter at this point. But really hype anime status duel right there. Amazing. 10 out of 10. So we got some of it versus trains, and then versus X. What is X? We'll find out very soon. But what do you guys think of Galaxy Eyes now? Do you guys think that this is an okay deck now? Because I originally, like, when I would play people and they would play Galaxy Eyes, I usually just, like, absolutely obliterated them. They had no chance, and that's just because maybe they didn't understand the deck. And it's really cool to see, you know, people actually, you know, trying out the deck and making it relatively good. Now we have it against Trains. Now, Trains do bust out a bunch of monsters that can have a great amount of attack, and Dora is still a relatively strong card, but is it strong enough? That is the question. In attack position, not exactly. Heck, even in defense position, you guys saw they're busting out Galaxy cards with, you know, 5,000, 4,500 attack. And so, like, the beefiness of the Trains is still just not enough. So you can just go ahead and run that thing over. It's funny how sometimes certain decks just have, like, bad matchups. And I want to say that Trains, like, what makes them good is, like, they have so much attack and defense. And you rely on Dora a lot, but he's got the Dora in defense mode now. But it doesn't really matter because even though it's going to negate the effects, you just have that big beater to run it over. And like, this is what makes Trains, honestly. It's number 81, Dora, but he doesn't care. He's just going to go ahead and run over it. Not too good at all. So he's going to go ahead and get rid of that card, which is really good. Then he's going to go ahead and go for Galaxy Eye Cipher Blade, go ahead and attach extra material. And then potentially he can start detaching material and then start destroying cards on the field to prevent him from losing, but he doesn't really have an option right now. He's got 4,000 life points, but he's got the Kaiju. Gonna go ahead and tribute it for the Kaiju, but he's able to search out a card off of Cipher Tranger over here. Pretty good stuff indeed. But anyways, he's gonna go ahead and be forced to set the Cipher Mirror Knight, so he's gonna be able to add a card later on with that effect, which is really good. This is what really helps out the deck. Now, unfortunately, it is a little bit slower in that aspect because it's during the end phase. If it was immediately, I feel like Galaxy Eyes could be way better because being able to search off a card is really advantageous. But he's going to go ahead and just take that card so it's out of the way. And look at that. That's 9,500 points of damage. You know, Vegeta would be proud over there. But we've got our last replay over here versus the X over here. Well, what is the X? It is, of course, the Blue Eyes Chaos Max Dragon. Let's go and swap it so we can get the Galaxy Eyes player's point of view. But I don't know, this is looking like to be a pretty fun deck for some of you guys to mess around with. But I mean, the Blue Eyes player, he exhausted his whole entire hand to these two cards. Now, he was able to negate a spell, that is true, but I felt like he put all of his candies into one basket over here, so a rip pepperoni to him. He's going to go ahead and negate all his effects, and he's going to go ahead and go for the Galaxy Eyes full armor, and then he's going to go ahead and pop that card. Now, he still has the Chaos Max, but Chaos Max is going to be absorbed. His opponent has a Blue Eyes in hand, top stacking to a Sonic Bird, and his opponent's like, GG over there. But let me give you guys the deck profile. I know a lot of you guys want to try out this deck, so I'll give it to you guys. Let me go ahead and go to the deck edit, and you guys can try out the deck for yourself and let me know what you guys think of it. So anyways, we've got 2 copies of Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon, 2 copies of Galaxy Knight, 1 copy of Swordsman of Revealing Light. We've got 3 copies of Galaxy Soldier, 3 copies of Cipher Twin Raptor, 3 Cipher Wing, 1 Electromagnetic Turtle, 3 Galaxy Wizard, 3 Cipher Mirror Knight, 2 copies of, this is a new card, it's called Cipher Tranger, and then we got Galaxy Cyclone, 1 Raigeki, 2 Trade-In, 2 Galaxy Expedition, 2 Rank Up Magic Cipher Ascension, 2 Twin Twisters, 2 Galaxy Zeros, 1 Breakthrough Scale, 2 copies of Cipher Bit, and 2 copies of Tachyon Transmigration. Now, for suggestions, I definitely want to suggest you guys to run cards like Solemns or Vandy's Emptiness over this card. I mean, you guys can mix and match certain things, maybe drop Raigeki. I feel like this deck has pretty easy access to getting rid of larger beaters, but there are cards where you can, you know, run into problems with like Cyber Dragon and ABC, so you gotta force those negations out. So I can totally understand why some of you guys want to keep it, but it's totally up to you. But I recommend Vandy's Emptiness because when you got a big beater and you throw up Vandy's, a lot of people just say GG. But as far as the extract, we got 2 copies of Neo Galaxy Eye Cipher Dragon, 2 copies of Galaxy Eye Cipher Blade, 2 copies of Full Armor, 1 copy of number 62 Galaxy Eyes Prime Photon Dragon, 2 copies of Galaxy Eyes Cipher Dragon, 1 number 38, 1 number 107, 1 Divine Dragon Knight Felgran, 1 Lancelot, 1 Cyber Dragon Fidney, and of course Nova, so you can actually bring out the card. For the side deck, we got Anti-Monarchs, we got Anti-Ritual Beast, not that anyone's playing them until they get their new support. We got Goes Unmatched to mess up a lot of things, Anti-Spell Frigates to wreck the Pendulums, and then we got Mind Drain to get rid of some of the things that activate in the hand, like, you know, all the hand traps. Pretty decent little card over there. Also can get rid of certain other decks. I believe like Mermails can get wrecked by this. The deck, but still seeing a little bit of play once in a while, but yeah, that's the Galaxy Eyes Cipher deck. Let me know, guys, what you think of it. And pretty fun deck. Have some fun with it, guys. And if there's any other crazy builds, you guys let me know in the comment section below. But thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you guys get a like button, a titty slap, and I'm signing out.